Hi, I'm Eric, and this is my garage. Today, we're going to continue on with this neck here that I cut out last week. Actually, a couple weeks ago I cut it out. Just letting it settle. What I'm going to do here is basically just block sand the underside of it and just square it up and square up the back side of the headstock here. And then we're going to run it over to the spindle sander and we're going to clean up this volute real nice so it's ready for further carving down the road here. What I have done is on the top side, I've squared off the top here where the fingerboard will be glued eventually, and I squared off the top of the headstock where the quilted maple veneer will be glued eventually. So, and I also squared the heel off and thicknessed it so it's exactly the right thickness that I need for when it goes down into the neck pocket. That's about it. Let's get started. Voila. You can see that with the pencil line, but that's the profile of the neck there. So after I finish routing out the truss rod channel, you can basically cut this neck out in the bandsaw, and then what I do is after I'm done with that, I double stick tape this up, and then we machine it out on the router table. Looks real nice. So this is the bit that I use. It's a little roundover bit. It's 3/8 wide, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to route probably just up to where the nut will set. Go about 1.25 inches with this bit, and we'll start it here. We'll flip. I'll show you on the router table how I'm going to do that. What it basically does is you start out at your certain spot, and I'll mark it with a pencil on the side so I can see it, you know. And what it does is, we don't have a fence in yet, but what it'll do is it'll travel, and we'll travel it to right about there, and we'll stop. And then when you're done, you got a nice little access channel route, you know, for your insert your Allen wrench to adjust it. So what I do is I'll start down here, take my handy dandy digital caliper. We got 3 inches exactly. So that's 1.50. Obviously, we don't need the calculator to figure out exactly what half of 3 is. Okay, now we're going to connect the dots. We know this is on center there, and then we're going to do this one there, over by there. This is my all-purpose, I call it the Amish power sander. It's manual labor all the way, baby, but this is an old piece of walnut that I saved many moons ago for my first guitar I ever built out of walnut and lacewood. And so I machined it, and I was like, hey, it's a nice sander, serves as a nice fence, clamp it down for the router table, you know, and it's good block sander. I square up things with it, so it's a really good thing to have. Don't throw it away, Gus. Now you can see the line. Now we got a line here, so when I get the fence lined up, we can get that bad boy centered, you know. So we're going to do that over by there. So that's clamp. You ain't going nowhere, Gus. Flat, square. Huh? Over by there. Grab a piece of masking tape. Little trick. The reason why, because you can't see where you're at with this. So you need some kind of a guide as to where the bit is. This is your guide. So what I'm going to do is draw a line. Just draw a line is all. Making this simple little. There we go. Now I can see over by there. What I got going on here is I got this bit 7/16 high from the surface, and I put a piece of tape here with a line so it's lined up with the bit, and then I've marked out this is exactly how long the access channel is going to be for the truss rod. So what we're going to do is we're going to drop the workpiece right here. We're going to run it along the fence. We're going to stop at this line, and then we'll have a nice access channel. We just made a nice little access channel route for our tool. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that bit out and I'm going to put a special size bit that we use that the Stewart-MacDonald truss rod. They fit like a glove, and it'll continue on back 18 inches to the back. So I'm going to do 2 passes because you don't want to do a full 7/16 cut into the wood. You want to do a little bit like split it, you know. So that's that. It's there, you know. So it's perfect. It's real nice. Real good. Here now is I'm gonna hook this bit up to the router table, and we're gonna make 2 passes that are equivalent to 7/16 deep when it's done, and then the truss rod will be installed and put the truss rod in, which is 18 inches. And I usually put my truss rods back to just about back in here where this is just peeping out of the access hole out of there. Okay, so now we got our lines marked off, huh? So basically what we're going to do is we're going to start here with our route. We're going to start right in this area right here between this line and this line here. We're going to run it all the way back to this line and stop. We're gonna start the first channel at a 1/4 inch deep, which is pretty good. It's safe and sane. Oh yeah, it's 4th of July. Happy Independence Day, everybody. Yeah, safe and sane. So we're gonna do that. So just like before, we're gonna start. We're gonna start our deal here. We're gonna run it all the way to the back line here. We're going to follow our fence line. I shut the router off and then I lift the piece. We don't want any issues, huh, Gus? Go. There's one pass. Now we're going to run the second pass, finish it up. Glue the fingerboard on. We're good to go now.